and welcome back to the ROH show with Kirsty Graham. Today we're going to be talking about Manhattan Mayhem because I finally got to watch it. Oh, so excited. There was a lot in this show. I'm not going to just babble too much today. I'm going to get straight into it. So starting off the show was Bully Ray came out kind of like it was the first 10 minutes of Raw. Got everybody all hyped up, but he was announcing that it was the first stream as part of Honor Club, all that good stuff. You got an ROH chant going. It was the New York crowd, of course, Manhattan, so they were all for it. It was great little start right to the start of the show. The first match was a tag match, and it was the Briscoes, the dogs of Will Beretta and Bret Titus, and Coast to Coast, Shaheem Ali and LSG. It was a number one contenders match, but it was one of these weird tag matches where only two people are allowed into the ring at the time, so there's always a tag team not involved. I don't like these tag team matches, I never have. We get triple threats, why can't it be a triple threat tag match? I don't know, but anyway. Sabin from Motor City Machine Guns was on commentary to start with, along with Colt Cabana and Ian. And yeah, he was just saying that the Briscoes haven't been the same Briscoes, which they haven't, that he was happy to face any of them because he's so babyface. But yeah, number one contenders match. There was a couple of really nice spots in this match. There was a double coast to coast, and I've always, as anybody that knows that's listened to any of the podcasts for the last while, I loved a coast to coast when I was a kid. So there was a double coast to coast, even better. But yeah, the Briscoes were just kind of angry and heel and proving a point, I suppose, and they kept shouting about being 9-time tag champions. Yeah, 9-time tag champions if they win at 16th anniversary. So Jay won the match for the Briscoes with a J driller, and they move on. Sabin seems happy enough about it. Really good little opening match, I can't complain. I love the Briscoes, and yeah. And I'm really into right now Bret Titus calling Will Little Willie, like, and him calling himself the big dog is hysterical because, you know, reasons. But yeah, really fun opening match, really good. Briscoes win, babyface tag team against the heel tag team, why not? But I do want the Briscoes to win. I just want them to win all the tag championships ever. I love the two of them to get there together. So then we go on to match 2, which was a Women of Honor tag match exhibition between Sumi and Jenna Rose and Tennille Dashwood and Diona Perazzo. Mandy Leon was on commentary, just talking about the Women of Honor tournament, about like everything that's gone, basically just letting the main ROH fan base know what's going on Women of Honor Wednesdays. This again was really fun. It was a really slick match actually. Like, there wasn't a lot of like botches or anything. It was really tight and nice, and Tennille Dashwood was protected very, very, very well. She got the pin because Sumi went for a moonsault and missed, and she got the pin off of that. Again, really nice match. At the end, I liked that Tennille was doing her It's All About Me thing. It's getting over. Everybody loved her as Emma. Still don't know why she wasn't used better, but she's in ROH now. She's ours. We're going to keep her. And Mandy was saying on commentary, like, why is it all about her? Like, we've been here, we've been building our Women of Honor for ROH, so she was there before there was a title, etc, etc. But really nice, great little segment. Nothing at all to complain about. Actually, I really enjoyed this for the women. So then it went straight on to match 3, and it had Sobrano Jr., who was making his ROH and US debut, which was quite nice, against Punishment Martinez. These two had a really nice blend of lucha wrestling and typical big guy style wrestling. It was kind of botchy to start with, and that unforgiving New York crowd just, they weren't for having it, to be fair. But by the end of it, Punishment kind of just killed them a lot. and brought the crowd back in, so that was nice. He got a choke slam win, but it was a choke slam from, like, he was on the outside of the apron, Junior was, and he like choke slammed them in. Punishment always looks really good, but I feel as if he isn't, or hasn't for the last little while, been given the best opponents to show how much he's improving and how good he is since, like, was it last year he came in? Anyway, yeah, I don't feel as if he's been given the right opponent, but it wasn't even botchy as in everything looked really dangerous. It just, they didn't melt well, like their chemistry wasn't there as much as it would have been, but it was this guy's like debut. There's probably a language barrier, so, but for what it was decent. It wasn't anything special, but it put, I mean, Punishment Martinez has been protected as well, very, very well. He's gone on to face Marty, I think, at 16th anniversary. So, he'll go on and do that. But, yeah, he was protected, as always. I knew he was winning before the match even started because of how protected he'd been, but I wasn't like screaming about the match or anything because it was a little bit weird. But it was good. Can't complain. Nobody got hurt, as far as I know. That's the main thing. So, the next segment, though, as we went on, was really weird. It was a Q&A with Ian Ricciaboni, the ROH commentator, with Jonathan Gresham, the octopus, but this crowd just hated it, and it just made it really, really awkward to watch. Like, you know how sometimes you watch wrestling and something on screen and you just get like that, like, second-hand cringe moment? It was very that, and even they tried to get like Cheap Heat in. They were like doing a live Q&A in the crowd, and just nobody was interested at all. Like, Cheap Heat didn't even work. They were like, "What do you think, New York?" And people were like, "We think this segment should be over," to be fair. Thankfully it ended. And we went on to the fourth match, which might, I'm torn between this match and the last match is my two, like, what one was my favourite. But in terms of like a singles match, this was everything tonight. It was the match between Cody and Flip Gordon, with the match stipulation that if Flip Gordon won, he gets to take Cody's spot at the Bucks and Cody's show All In September. It was fan voted, and this was just filled with drama. I don't even, like, technically a match happened, but it was everything else, the storytelling round about this match that was, it was so, considering this, it wasn't technically a pay-per-view, like, this was a pay-per-view worthy match, and it was just beautiful. So, Flip comes out, everybody cheers, he's so over right now, it is beautiful. Cody comes out, full out with the Bullet Club jacket, all that jazz, with Brandy and Buddy the Bear. If you don't know who Buddy the Bear is, you're clearly not watching Being the Elite, but he is the new mascot for the All In pay-per-view event thing that they're doing. I don't even know if it's going to be in pay-per-view, I really hope it is, but he's their mascot for All In. He has an All In t-shirt on, and I want to know who was under, like, this bear outfit, because they were so good. So Cody gets in, they're about to start the match, and Cody is livid. He tries to get a fan ejected because I think he was chanting for Kenny, or he was chanting something at him, and he's like telling security, get him out, and obviously nobody done anything. Everybody's like, flip, anything but cheering for Cody, because he is the destroyer of all dreams. And he said, so he gets the mic and he's like, you would rather cheer for this flat earther, talking about Flip, and you would rather besmirk the match to cheer for Kenny Omega, who isn't even here. Everybody cheers. So then Cody tries to leave. The bell hasn't rung yet. Cody tries to leave, and he's like getting everybody booing, takes a beer off of a guy and pours it over him. And the heat this got, people were losing their damn minds. He gets back in, and the commentary are doing a really good job of putting it over that Cody is purposely not going straight in and starting the match, because Flip's thing is like speed, it's Flip's, it's intensity, it's athleticism, and it's very quick paced. So Cody won't want that match. So Cody's purposely trying to like draw it out to get Flip to kind of come down a little bit. Great job of putting it over in that way, because otherwise he just looks like a dick, but he's trying to be a dick anyway, so oh god, I've took notes of this because it was so much and I didn't want to forget anything. So he gets in and he's showboating, he's doing all of these, getting up in the turnbuckles and posing, and Flip starts copying him, clearly realising that Cody's just being like, clearly realising what Cody's trying to do, and he's just trying to wind him up. But Cody is so highly strung that his own plan is backfiring on him, because Cody pretends to throw his jacket out into the crowd, and the crowd, like, it falls down. So then Flip gets out and grabs it, and then like throws it on the ground too. To which everybody was booing, because everybody wanted Cody's jacket to be thrown out. They get in again. The bell finally rings, but they still don't start wrestling yet. There was no code of honour. The commentary's still putting it over. Cody goes out to kiss Brandy, and then the bear asks for a kiss in the cheek, so then he gets it right in the snout. It's cute as hell. So then Flip starts blowing kisses at them, which makes Cody lose it, because he blows the kiss at Brandy, to which Cody gets out and goes and gets a chair, because that, as we know, chairs are Cody's new thing. Almost brings it in, but then doesn't, puts the chair away. And then Cody goes to take a drink again, still not starting the match. Takes a drink of water and then turns, and as if he's Triple H, just sprays this water, but he is like this much away from a fan and just spits it all over his face. It was beautiful. I mean, it was disgusting, but the heat and everything, and to think all of this has happened and they haven't even locked up properly yet, like nothing has happened. So then eventually they get in, they start wrestling. Flip's here and there because Flip's amazing. But then Cody starts doing this really weird thing in between moves where he does like Okada's Rainmaker pose. And I'm like, can you just stop calling people, like, pick one? At the moment you've got an issue with Flip, you've also got an issue with Kenny, and by proxy, Kota, and now you want to be like calling out Okada. Stop! Focus, Cody! Stop it! Oh, and then again, another couple of spots, a little flip. Brandy's getting involved, as she always does when she's at ringside. The bear is the most over thing on the planet. And then he gets down. Flip's like on the outside because Cody, he does know how that, I'm trying to think how to describe the spot, where he like pops up and he goes to take momentum off of the top rope on his shoulders, but Cody just pushes him. And he lands, like, he back bumps it onto the guardrail, and it sounded disgusting. So he's lying out, Cody's in the middle of the ring, and starts doing Kenny's goddamn Rise of the Terminator thing on all fours, does the whole thing, goes out and hits Flip, and I was losing my mind. You don't get to, Cody. You don't get to. You're not friends. Stop it. But then there's a whole bunch of super kicks from Flip when he gets back in. Flip does this really beautiful super kick, but like then does a shooting star press as Cody falls, and I thought that was it. 2 count. One of the most slickest false finishes I've seen in a while. I was so like, that's it, but it wasn't, because Cody's not going to pay for an event that he's not booked at. But then Brandy, so there's a moment where Flip's on the outside and he's going to do some sort of pole vaulting into the ring. Pole vaulting? No. He's trying to momentum sell into the ring. Brandy gets up on the ring apron and she's shouting, don't do this, don't do it, like, as Brandy does. And then Cody comes to do where he's like kick where he bounces off of the middle turnbuckle, but Flip ducks and he hits Brandy. He does not miss this lady. That is his wife, and he kicked her directly in the face. She like bumps onto the hard part of the apron, God love her, and then she rolls out. So then Flip's in the ring and he's like, "That's your wife? What is your problem?" Pokes his head out in between the two ropes and he's saying like, "Are you okay?" To which Cody, absolute opportunist, beautiful, takes him round. Crossroads, 1, 2, 3. He still doesn't go check on Brandy. He celebrates. Other people come check on Brandy. I think Flip even goes back to make sure she's okay. And then like the refs and stuff have come out to try and help Brandy up because she's like knocked out. And then Cody takes Brandy into his own arms and I'm like, oh, he's checking on her now. He then passes her off to the goddamn bear and then smirks and laughs about it. Cody is one of the best heels. He's so good at being the absolute worst. And this match, I don't even know how much they actually wrestled. There was a lot of spots, but the entire segment was just pay-per-view worthy. And I know technically with Honor Club they wanted to have like a big 3-hour show to kick it off, and it was like a live event, and whenever they're at New York, especially in Manhattan, like they've got such history in that venue that of course they're going to do it big. But god damn, like after that match I genuinely said nothing is going to be better than that tonight, like nothing. And I still don't know if I was wrong. I'll decide at the end. So anyway, then they're going to the intermission because it is a live show. They can't just expect people to sit for 3 hours. So they had an intermission as they always do at live events. But for the fans, because people were complaining that they were sitting watching a blank screen for 15, 20, 25 minutes, however long the intermission is, what ROH are now going to start doing is putting like a throwback match on the screen instead while everybody's going and buying beer and having a pee break and whatever else. So the match for this was the first anniversary show, and it was the match between Red Dragon, Bryan Danielson and Samoa Joe, and I forgot how much I loved that match, but it was really nice. It was a nice little touch. I wasn't expecting to see them wrestle tonight, but I'm not going to complain about it. Thank you, Ring of Honor. Then it comes back to the actual show, and there's a really, really strange pulpit, Coleman's pulpit segment, and he's out and he's preaching, he's shouting about shoes and how well dressed he is and everything. And then, but there had been a fan who was going to be his next guest, was going to be fan voted on, and everybody had voted for Colt Cabana, and Colt Cabana's music played. They took off his headset because he's still on commentary to go up, and then out comes the Kingdom's Matt Taven, and he starts, well, the Kingdom came out, but Matt Taven's talking, and he's talking about who couldn't make it because of cancelled flights, because fuck the weather. So he was saying like Christopher Daniels didn't make it, like a whole bunch of people that didn't make tonight's show, and I suppose it was their way of kind of telling the fans these guys aren't going to be here tonight, while letting a heel take the heat for that. And then he was talking about how the Kingdom's in the main event, how he's got Cody's ring, how he's going to make all of Bullet Club kiss it before Cody gets his rematch at 16th anniversary. But again, the crowd just, I think it was because the New York crowd want wrestling. When they go see a wrestling show, they want wrestling. And I think again because it was meant to be a talking segment, but they done a really nice little like storyline bit here, because as they interrupted and told Coleman to go away, there was like a cameraman with like a headset on who was like trying to talk to them from the side of the stage but trying not to be seen, and he was like, what are you doing, this isn't, and it like the little touches like that give it like that little bit more realism, as if they are actually coming out and interrupting a show. I like that, ROH. So then we go on to our actual next match, and it is a 6-man tag match with Cheeseburger, who came out with a cowboy hat on and his plushie. No idea why, but he was Cowboy Cheeseburger tonight. With Kenny King and Chuck Taylor. But he came out with a Team Kenny t-shirt on, and it took me until the commentary pointed out that the Team Kenny was the Kenny King t-shirt. But with everything going on with Bullet Club right now, I was like, Cody's about to come out and murder your Cheeseburger. Run away. But then, like, Ian was like, it's not a Kenny Omega one, it's a Kenny King one. And I was like, oh yeah. And then Kenny King came out next, so. But for a hot second, I was like, Cody's about to murder somebody. Poor Cheeseburger. So it was those three versus Silas Young, Beer City Bruiser, and Brian Milonis. Cheeseburger went in first for his team, and for some reason called out Milonis, the biggest man on their team, and proceeded to get ragdolled a little bit. But I love Cheeseburger, and I don't get why a lot of people don't like him, because he's great. Like, but the Japanese like him and they keep booting him, so I can watch him over there. It's fine. There was a really nice like section of the match where it was Silas Young and Kenny King, and obviously that was referring back to their match that they just had for the TV title, where Kenny won the title off of him on the ROH episode, TV episode. It was a really nice like exchange between the two of them, considering this was kind of a weird gimmicky, not quite gimmicky 6-man tag match. But they two kind of like brought it back in as, no, this match is here to put this like feud still over. Then they end up disappearing, I think, to the back, like they keep fighting. And Cheeseburger's the legal man. Chuck Taylor didn't really do much this entire match. And I love Chuck Taylor, but like, thinking back to it, I don't really remember much of what he done in this match. So, but you get paid for a booking. High five, sir. So the finish to this match was, it was a Cheeseburger was like laid out, and Brian Milonis done a superplex for what I can remember, and then Beer City Bruiser from the opposite, like from the turnbuckle adjacent, done a frog splash onto pure Cheeseburger, squashed him in the literal sense, not the wrestling term sense, and picked up the victory. So that was nice that they're still getting that push, and so is Silas by default, despite him not being there to celebrate, but they're the tag team, so they can celebrate together. Then we went on to the sixth match, which was a tag match between Jay Lethal and Ultimate Guerrero and Dalton Castle and Voladar Jr. Hope I'm saying that right, guys. This was mainly there. I think Ultimo and Voladar, I think they both have a feud going on that obviously we're not privy to because it's not on ROH television. So that, I think that this tag match was put together so that Dalton and Lethal, who are going on to face each other, could like face off without it being the match before the match, because ROH don't like to just do repeats. They'd rather throw other people in, mix it up a little bit, and I prefer it that way, to be fair. So there was like two different storylines going on with the tag teams. It was kind of nice. Ultimate Guerrero got very annoyed when the boys started to fan Voladar though, and went for the boys, and Dalton Castle lost his shit. Lost it. Do not fuck with the boys, as the chant said. Don't do it. Not good. There was a really horrible spot as well where I don't even know what the setup was. I just remember seeing Lethal's head, like the side of his head, bang off the turnbuckle, and then he just sort of fell and he held his head for a minute, but he got checked over, he continued wrestling. It was just the sound of it sounded horrible. I really hope he's okay, but it was just nasty. Voladar ended up getting the pin off of a Hurricane Rana, and then everybody kind of got in the ring at the end. Dalton Castle's holding his belt, and then Ultimo swiped it from behind him, and then Dalton chased him, got it back, and then Lethal took it off him, looked at it, and then gave it back to him. And I was like, that bit made sense, But why was Ultimo stealing the belt? Like, I don't know, but maybe that's just his character. But yeah, again, a good little match. A really Dalton Castle's wrestling, because he comes from an amateur background, has actual wrestling, like the suplexes, like when he does those delayed suplexes, I just melt. It's so beautiful, and I really enjoy him and Jay Lethal together. So all of their exchanges together were great. Everybody was slick, everybody was professional, apart from that one spot that I'm not even sure what happened. I just remember worrying about Jay Lethal. And then we got on, guys, to the main event. This main event was a spot fest. So only way to describe it, but it was the spot fest in the way of the spot fest you want. Like it's a Young Bucks spot fest, a Bullet Club spot fest, and it was amazing, and I will not hear anybody say anything else about it. Still don't know if I preferred Cody and Flip or this, but the match was as followed. It was an 8-man tag Manhattan Mayhem match. It was the Young Bucks, Marty and Adam Cole. Not Adam Cole, Adam Page. Terrible Kirsty. And then it was Matt Tavern, Vinny Marcella, TK O'Ryan and Shane Taylor, who's looking incredible right now, might I say. Cody was on commentary. He came out with this like snow hat on with his little logo that he said somebody made for him, and an all-in t-shirt. And he was great on commentary, but he proceeded to just say that Bullet Club was fine, everybody was fine, he bigged everybody up, but in the process completely shat on Kenny. Just, Kenny is the worst. He kept talking like Kenny wasn't part of the Bullet Club anymore. Like, he kept being like, this was the problem when Kenny Omega was the leader, when Kenny Omega was around. And I'm like, he hasn't gone anywhere. He's just reunited with a really lovely friend. Stop. He doesn't have to pick. Don't make him pick Cody. We want the golden levels. Just bring in Kota. You have an obsession with Kota anyway. He's cracked, but it's the best thing on planet Earth. So the rules of the match were 2 men start, one from each team, and then they wrestled for 5 minutes, and then after that every 1 minute, 2 minutes, I think it was every 2 minutes, and somebody else from another team came in. So it was always, the Bullet Club was always at the disadvantage because they'd won the coin flip or whatever, but the Kingdom were always a man up until all the men were in. The match couldn't finish until all the men were in. So it started off with Matt Tavern came in first, and so did Marty. They two had a really nice just wrestling match. Like, it was like, he came in telling everybody to kiss the ring. Cody was losing his mind on commentary about said ring. Yeah, it was just really, they got the crowd hyped, but they didn't exhaust themselves because they knew it was coming. There was a really nice spot where Marty had Tavern's arm through a steel chair, and then he stomped on it. And spots like that will never not make me cringe, because it just takes one little thing to go wrong and somebody's arm's probably broke. Like, it's just, there's a certain amount of realism to it that it will never go away. It's the same with these finger snap spot. It will never not make me cringe because of the sound. I don't know where that sound comes from. I don't want the illusion to be ruined for me. Just let Marty keep cracking fingers and making me happy. But yeah, they had a really nice little exchange, and then Vinny came in second, so it was a 2-on-1. Marty tried to like keep up valiantly. I can't talk today, it's almost 1 a.m, I apologise. But he was putting up the good fight, but wasn't getting anywhere until he found a bin, like a dustbin. And usually you think dustbin, they're going to hit them with it, but it was full of streamers, so he just launched them at those two and got them all tangled up and proceeded to attack them. Obviously it was a no DQ match, so like chairs and everything, all of that are legal. And then, yeah, so Vinny came out with the balloons and all that. Bucket of strudels. Then Matt came in. Matt was second in for Bullet Club, was fourth in overall. And he took this because it's a stage, so inevitably, like, Matt's diving off of it. But, like, the Titron played the music and the vignette, and Matt Tavern starts walking up towards them, and they kind of beat up Marty, so I was like, oh, he's going to drag him into this mess. And it wasn't until I seen Matt just running that I went, no, there's going to be a dive, Kirsty. Of course there's going to be a dive. So off he goes. But Matt Tavern didn't quite catch Matt Jackson. So Matt, like, caught himself via, like, his elbow on the guardrail. And then he, like, got up and did this, like, guttural roar, like, as if trying to shake it off. But I'm going to assume that either he has just an incredible tolerance for pain, or it wasn't anything serious, because he proceeded to have a fantastic match and used his arm all throughout it. So I don't like watching guys do dives and not seeing like 15 people under there to make sure he's okay, because if that one person doesn't get there, then things can happen and nobody wants to see anybody get injured. But everything seemed to be okay. So this is when Cody really starts shit talking Kenny on commentary, because Marty and Matt are having really nice, really slick movements, and Cody's like, see, they never needed Kenny, they never needed to be the elite, they never needed any of this. Still talking like he's gone. He's not gone, he's just in Japan. You were just there. So then the crowd is like so hyped, because there was this they do this lovely exchange, and then the crowd start doing the Rise of the Terminator against the guardrails, and Marty and Matt just look at each other, and then they bounce off the ropes. I thought they were actually going to do the whole dive, but what they done was hop over either side and then do this double super kick. It was really slick. Like, everything they do is just slick, and a lot of people like it's only a spot fest, but there's spot fests that are messy and don't look that impressive, and then there's spot fests that are so slick that the only thing that you can really complain about is one time one person didn't quite get enough of of Matt Jackson than they could have on an aisle. It's just not the same. It's just not the same thing. When it's done right, it's perfect. But anyway, so then the next person comes in. It's TKO, but he jumps out of the crowd in Bullet Club merch. So then they try to do that spot where somebody jumps the guardrail, acting like a fan, attacking, then let the security pull them away. Personally, I think this spot only works if it's like a big return or a big reveal of somebody when you know people are coming in. It's a weird spot to do. But anyway, in gets TKO, and this is when everything kind of went to the next level. All of the weapons, tables were being pulled out, chairs were being set up in between, like, just, and it would know how those matches where people set things up but they don't immediately put somebody through them, so you're just left going, why is there 3 tables set up and nobody has went through them? But I digress. Next in, Matt comes in. They've kind of, at this point, they've kind of laid out Matt and Nick, because again, it's 3-on-2, it's the numbers game. Nick comes out, and he comes in and with such velocity just starts kicking and striking everybody. And the sound, again, I don't know what it was last night, but there was just something about these like cracking sounds that just felt really, really good. They're doing all of the spots between Matt and Nick. Once Matt like gets back up, Marty's out trying to kill Tavern, Cody's shouting in the background, and then Matt gets up onto the top turnbuckle, and they have a I don't even know who they laid out. I can't even remember. It might have been TKO. But they've got him laid out on one of the tables, and from the top rope, Matt just goes boom, elbow drop, and it just looked vicious. It looked I don't envy Matt Jackson or anybody in that match waiting up today and just being in pain, because holy God. So then Shane Taylor is the last one out, and as I said before, I think they said he's lost about £100, and he looks so good for it. Like, he still is a big guy. He's not small by any means. I think they said last night that he was 450, maybe not. Maybe he was 450 and he's went down to like 350 or something. But he was a heavy man, very heavy man. But he just looks more mobile, and you can see it in his wrestling. Not that he was ever a slouch in his wrestling, but you can see that having that little bit of weight, almost a human, having that weight off him is doing him so good. And it was really, this was a perfect time to see him like that in this kind of match. It was really, really nice. So Shane Taylor comes out, takes out all of Bullet Club because he's a humongous man. No matter how much Cody's telling everybody that everybody is heavyweights, Shane Taylor is a heavyweight. He takes them all out. He sets up a few more tables as well, and they're just beating on Bullet Club. So then the 2 minutes pass. Adam Page comes out, and he runs out with a chair and just starts whacking at people, halves them down to size. He then does his lovely like the shooting star press Undertaker, and then on the other side Nick had set up with the other two guys in the Kingdom's tag team. He does a lovely normal Undertaker. I'm sure that somewhere in the match there was a Meltzer driver too. There was just so many spots. There is no way. I'd probably do another 1 hour show just talking about the spots in this match. I'm trying to include all of the important ones. So they end up they're all out. They drag everybody out of the ring into the actual arena, and then they're all fighting like in amongst the crowd basically, and you just see Adam just hot him up over a guardrail, like over a railing, not even a guardrail, like a proper railing, because he's up on a tier 1, then goes up like a little tier to like 1.5 tier, like as you're going up onto tier 2, and from there that absolutely crazy man shooting star press just onto, to be fair, again there was like 9 guys to catch him, and it was a perfectly executed, but there was no hesitation, no oh am I going to be okay, looking over his shoulder, nothing. He just boom the potential in this man is beyond, and I love him. It's insanely good. So then after that everybody kind of backs away from there. The crowd is going insane through this entire match because it's just high spot. To which, once they're back in, they're proceeded to be a super kick party. And everybody, I know a lot of people outside of ROH complain about the overuse of super kicks, but you're not invited to this party. It's ours, and I love it so much. All of them, Marty gets in, does his finger snap spot, and everybody made sure they were quiet enough to hear it to then chant "You sick fuck." Beautiful like spots. It was just, all of it was so slick. Like, it's unbelievable how much happened and nobody broke anything or died, or like touch wood, obviously we don't know of anybody, but it didn't seem like anybody was injured, and it's insane. So then they get Shane Taylor onto the table that he set up previously, and it collapses under his weight. Like, as he lies down, it buckles, and Nick has set himself up on top of the turnbuckle to do a 450, to which he just goes, "I'm crazy," and proceeds to do it anyway. The table was already broke. It looked brutal. Oh, I know I've said that about 6 times, but like, ROH don't go at half speed, even if it's technically a house show that's just been streamed on their network. It's just for knowing that there's a pay-per-view like Friday coming, the amount that happened was insanity. But yeah, the 450 happens, and then they do this. There was this lovely spot before I finish up where they were all doing. Adam Page got up and done a moonsault on everybody, and then I think it was Nick got up and done a moonsault, and then Matt got up and done a moonsault. But it is well documented that Marty is your flippy do type wrestler. He's not a high flyer, so everybody's like, Marty, and Marty's like, I can't do it, and everybody's cheering him, and then they start doing this like his whoop thing, as if because he has a bird-ish persona that somehow means he can fly. Well, it did, because he got up and done his moonsault. Was it the prettiest thing I've ever seen? Nope. But did he do it? Yep. It was... I'm kind of proud of him. Like, look at you doing the high spots. But yeah, it was lovely. Then Adam Page gets in. I don't even know who he pinned it. I don't even know who was legal. I'm assuming nobody was legal because it was a Mayhem match. And Adam Page gets the pin for Bullet Club, and the place just erupts. And I like that Adam got the pin because everybody else is already over. Adam is the one that still needs... I don't think... Correct me if I'm wrong here, people, but I don't think Adam Page has had a... Oh no, he must have, because he had the 6-man tag belts. I was going to say that he hasn't had a title yet in ROH, but he has. He's had the 6-man tags, hung bucks. But yeah, and oh my god, I don't know what one's my favourite match of the night, but the entire night was just full of further progression. Like, because as I said the other day, we'll get 16th anniversary, we've got Super Card of Honour coming up. Like, there's so much happening that it's just storylines are moving, people. But for this not being a pay-per-view, like, to think that there's still a pay-per-view coming a week later, everybody tore it up. And I love this company. I love the people that work there. I love them. Love them. So 16th anniversary will be coming up this weekend. I'll try and get another one of these out, talking about that, probably screaming again about how amazing everything was. But I don't know how, at this point in time, I don't know how they're going to top that at all. It's just not possible, guys. It's not possible at all. But they'll find a way. And the matches have got me so hyped as well. But yeah, I'll bring myself down. Silly o'clock in the morning. So yeah, with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as usual, this will be on WrestlingWithWrestling.com, along with a whole bunch of other stuff under Andre Corbeil. All your things wrestling, that'll be there. I'll be on Smacked Up Wrestling Live doing my usual whenever my Wrestle Crate arrives hopefully this week, guys. I'll try and get that up too, but with the weather, I have no idea when that'll get up, but when it comes, it'll come. Either that or I'll do a double unboxing if I have to get it resent out or whatever with the next one. That'll come. All our Twitters, my Twitter, all my socials will be down here somewhere. And yeah, that's been Kirsty and my ROH show. See you later, guys. Bye.